Okay. So hello everyone, very good morning. And so today we are going to talk about Akashic Records. So what are Akashic Records first of all? Akashic Records is where you can access your past life where someone else is doing a past life regression. Because there's certain deep-rooted issues like can be anything, can be someone can be compulsive eater, like just a compulsive drinker. Sometimes it is observed that they did not have anything to eat, or they were staying with the stepmother, so no one gave them anything to eat. So you tend to become compulsive eater of chronic hunger. Likewise, there are a lot of issues which cannot be resolved from this life. So people go to Akashic Records to not only kind of get it resolved, but for a better perspective. I mean, and sometimes you sign such soul contracts where you and your entire family is suffering. It could be like one of them had signed a soul contract that they would want their children to stay with them. So, I mean, that soul contract actually made them suffer a lot because the children was born as mentally retarded or intellectual disabled. So the child constantly stayed with them. But when they were 80, the child was 60, like when the mother was 80, she still had to look after the child. Like, how will child manage and how will child do this? How will child do that? Because of the only soul contract that the mother had signed, that the child will have to stay, that the child will, he wants the child to stay with them. Sometimes people sign the soul contract of a very difficult life, and they can't come out of it. And then they are like, our life became difficult, and one after the other, some people sign the soul contract of distressful life. Some people sign the soul contract of a happy life. That doesn't mean that everything will be happy 100%. Nothing is happy for anyone. It's like, if you're coming into this world, obviously there will be some suffering, there will be some certain things like that. But then what happens in the soul contract is that then you get those circumstances only. Like, if you're getting only the stressful circumstances, then you have to think about it. Why is it happening? So it kind of uncovers the future also, and it tells about your past life also, and it tells about a lot many things which you might not know, and and that makes you empathetic as a person, because then you feel like, okay, I had done something that this happened, or you want to break that soul contract, there can be very generations like of toxic marriage. So you end up in a toxic marriage, and then people are like, okay, she has come in this marriage, and your children also end up getting into toxic and maybe divorces. That's when you end this whole contract. Of course, there's some family constellation also taking place, but then Akashic also helps a lot in this. And some people can reverse that soul contract. If you can go up to that level, you can reverse that soul contract, and you can change your life, change the course of your life. Of course, whatever suffering you have asked for, you have to give, but it becomes a little less. जो प्रारब्ध है वो भुगतने ही पड़ते हैं, वो प्रारब्ध यू कैनॉट एस्केप, बट कम हो जाता है, थोड़ी इंटेंसिटी कम हो जाती है, बस इतना ही होता है. और and then actually, then the person who's doing it takes a permission. There are various kinds of prayers: violet flame, violet breath, grounding, shielding, and of course your like taking permission prayer, and to helping in knowing and healing someone prayer. Then you go into the realm, and you see a lot of white lights, like some people say indigo light, but yellow light, and then you're guided towards the records, and you open the records, and then you come to know. Sometimes you can't go inside because there's no guidance coming from Archangel Metatron, Archangel Zedkiel. But then this is how it happens. It has to happen very ethically and step by step. You can't fool people. Like, even being a tarot card reader, you can't fool people. If you're in this field, you can't fool people. And the rules and regulations of going into the records is, first of all, you can't ask too many questions. Unlike tarot, you can't. You can just ask one or two, you can just tell one or two issues that are interrelated. Like, suppose if I'm obese and I eat a lot, then they're interrelated issues. And if I'm obese and I have pent up emotions, these become interrelated issues. But I can't take, okay, I'm obese and I'm not getting a job. So they become like different issues. So one or two issues you can take, and that you don't have to tell in advance. That you have to tell in the process of when the person goes into the trance. What happens is, like, I've observed from my Akashic records also, like I've done a few cases, but then I've observed that people tell ask a lot of questions. They feel it's like a tarot only, but it's very different from tarot. It's way more intense than tarot. Tarot is like at the level of 100. This is at the level of 1,000 or 10,000 intense. And tarot, you can ask as many questions as you can, but here you have to restrict yourself. Here you have to listen to the other person, their perspective, because if you interfere a lot in the process, then the trance doesn't come. If the person who's doing your akashic is asking you questions, then you have to answer them, and then you have to do a discussion on that. But on that topic only, like, then you can't bring your sister's issues, your mother's issue. It's all about you. It's about your issue. Like, I don't say be selfish, but be selfish in akashic, because you can't ask too much about your children. Maybe you can ask about your children, because they might not be 18 plus, but you can not ask about your husband too much. Ask them to get their akashic records done, instead of you asking about on their behalf, until and unless they are terminally ill, until and unless they can't speak, or they could be deaf and dumb also, and anything could happen. Then only you can ask questions on their behalf. Otherwise, please don't do that, because your problems are more than enough for you to enter other people's life. Don't enter into other people's jurisdiction at all, because then you're entering into other people's energy, and this is very, very intense. And so try and sort out your own issues, because your own issues also need some kind of sorting, and some kind of you also need some kind of better perspective, and which patterns to change exactly. Because life is all about patterns. It's just that because we are not able to change patterns, that's why these kind of things happen. So, and then avoid interfering in between the process. Let the person say whatever the person wants to say, because they will not remember it. So you can either record it, like during prayers, you have to close your eyes. For the client, also close your eyes and join your hands and do whatever the process the Akashic record reader wants you to do, the one who's conducting the session. And then you open your eyes and just record everything. Maybe just record, or maybe just note down those points, and then you can have a discussion on that later, after the session is over, after the closing prayer is over, after the records are being closed, but not between that. Please don't interfere. And uh, whatever the person is saying, try and believe that, because they are entering to the records. And because of course there can be a possibility, like if you go to an ex Akashic record reader, he can show you a different lifetime, Y can show you different lifetimes, Z can show you different lifetimes. So believe them. Don't try to क्रॉस एग्जामिन के एक्स ने ये बताया था, वाई ने ये बताया था, जेड ने ये बताया था. इंटेलिजेंट हो सकते हैं और कुछ बहुत डिफरेंट भी निकल सकता है. दैट डजंट मीन कि वो फ्रॉड है, ऐसा कुछ है. जस्ट दैट की वो अलग अलग लाइफ टाइम दिखा रहे हैं आपको, अलग अलग इश्यू से. कई बार वो इश्यू से रिलेटेड भी नहीं हो सकता है, पर कई बार रिलेटेड हो सकता है. सपोज मेरा इश्यू है कि मेरे फ्रेंड्स नहीं बनते, तो इट कैन बी समथिंग एल्स कैन कम अप, some other issue can come up, because that's not in the control of the Akashic record reader. It's in the control of what the divine wants to show the Akashic record readers. That's what they are translating it into. And then trust the other person, trust the process. Like, don't doubt the process. Once you have come as a client, before before converting the client, ask as many questions as you want to your Akashic record reader, to the one who's conducting your session. But then after you have got into this, for tarot also, angel, oracle, everything, then don't doubt your client, don't doubt them. Just trust the process, because only if you trust the process, then only you can get the results and get the due results. So same thing I would like to say in Hindi also, कि आप जब भी आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड्स रीडिंग कराने आए, तो आप प्लीज मतलब एक इशू लेकर आए, एक या दो इंटर रिलेटेड इशू होने चाहिए. और बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस नहीं पूछना है. ट्रांस में इंसान बताएगा, वो इंसान बहुत कुछ बता बता सकता है, बहुत नहीं बता सकता, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. तो उसको आप ध्यान से सुनिए, उसके बाद में आप जितना जितना डिस्कशन कर लीजिए. मतलब अगर आपको 30-40 मिनट्स का आकाश ये होता है ट्रांस ज्यादा, तो मैं आपको 20 मिनट्स एक्स्ट्रा मिलते हैं, वे कैन आस्क लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. तब तब आप पूछ लीजिए सब क्वेश्चंस, तो कुछ कुछ चीजें याद रहेंगी. आप रिकॉर्ड कर लीजिए, फिर नोट डाउन कर लीजिए, क्योंकि बहुत 100% चीजें याद नहीं रहने वाली, क्योंकि ट्रांस में चला जाता है इंसान, उसको नहीं पता था मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. एंड यू कैन बी वेरी पॉलिटिकली करेक्ट. in this tarot, though you can still be more diplomatic. I mean, diplomatic in the sense that you can not be manipulative. Don't understand. Don't misunderstand me. You can still say things fact in a positive manner. Akashic means you have to be very straightforward. So the person who's coming for the reading, please be prepared that the person is going to be very straightforward, and it's not going to be what you always want to hear. It's going to be what the truth is. So be prepared for the truth, and be ready to accept the truth, because and confidentiality is very, very important. Like, don't reveal to your own family members, don't reveal to anyone or whatever you're seeing, because it's a personal issue and anything can come up. If you have murdered someone in this life, another life, if you're about to do that, this can also come up. So so that it remains sacred. It's a very sacred process, very, very, it's like almost go to a temple. And do not break the sacredness of it. Do not bluff, because only because if you're making some money, because people for Akashic are ready to pay anything. And even for half an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they're ready to pay anything. So do not play with them. And that's it I would like to say. Anything, anyone else has any questions, can please ask me. I'm open to taking questions right now. I guess.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ria, for giving a summary. It was really good to know all
Mhm.
these things. Uh, Anyone would like to ask? Can people ask any personal question, what, or just about the
I
process?
mean, don't they should not ask any personal questions, because Akashic, like I said, we can't reveal anything, and I wouldn't want to do anyone's reading in publicly, because there I don't have any control and I can't filter, and I mean, then it won't be fair, and all your
Yeah,
issues are going to come on YouTube and anyone can watch it.
yeah, yeah.
Or
So, can anyone do the Akashic record reading?
yeah, they can come to me personally. It will be better.
Okay.
Mm. Because the process is very it's a lengthy process. It's not like like tarot. It's a very lengthy process. It's better that they come to me personally, and there are a lot of prayers involved, and there are a lot of process, deep breathing involved. It's a very lengthy process. Like, the process can take in half an hour in itself. And Akashic record readers also come prepared, and with the process. They also like if you have booked a session, let's say 10 a.m. Like, the process starts at 9:15 a.m. And they also went to do a trance, either by someone, either by the mentor, either by the parents, or either they enter to trance on their own. That's what the process start. The process for a session has started long back, and people can only take 2 or 3 Akashic records reading in a day, because it's a lengthy process and it's a very intense process. And I guess that's what I would like to say. Any questions regarding Akashic record reading? If anyone wants to come for consultation under me or someone else, please clarify everything. I mean, just be clear, and that some sets of rules and regulations that you have to follow, and that the person who's doing it also has to follow. So just be clear. And very important, I mean, you have to hear the honest, the bitter truth. You might not like it in real life, but this is what it is. And the readers are not supposed to judge anyone. Even if someone has come down a grave crime, don't judge. I mean, that's we're not any police force to judge anyone. I mean, we just have to give our best at that time, and whatever Mrs. Divine is giving. And Reiki and meditation is recommended for the people who are involved in this field, especially Akashic records, because that's how it can anchor you. That's how you increase your intuition. That's how you increase your awareness, spiritual awareness. And beforehand, we have to
Can
take permission from clients
yeah.
whether we can access the records or not, because it is going to do too much of personal space of the other person.
Can people do it out of curiosity?
Out of curiosity, yes. Only if you have something like some most quite a lot of people who don't have many major issues happening in their life. Like, of course, small issues so goes in everyone's life, so that we don't consider. but they can come for spiritual growth and the life purpose of the people come. They don't want to know what the life purpose is and why they are born to this world and why have they come. So and how they can attain spiritual growth, because the path they are walking right now may not suit, because see, it's a known truth that we come with a purpose and we have come to learn some lessons of life. So if you don't walk on the right path of learning life lessons, things can go haywire. It can either come up in health issues, some relationship issues, some job issues, some career issues. Anything can come up. People come to resolve that also, and if they're walking a wrong path, if they're not able to walk a right path, people come for that also, like to seek guidance about how they can increase the spiritual growth and how they can become better persons also. So people come for that also, for a simple reason like that also. It might look like simple, but when you read the Akashic records, it's like, okay, it's a very long process and they have to walk a difficult path. So how to walk a difficult path also, Akashic can guide you in another session. If it's a very lengthy thing, if it's like a 5-10 minutes thing, then of course you can cover it in one session only.
Awesome.
Riya, I have a
Yeah,
question. ये
yeah,
different
sure.
है than Akashic reading. I first of all I must compliment you. मैं आपकी fast forward growth के लिए compliment करती हूँ. पहले भी
Thank you
मैं
so
आपको
much.
सुनती थी. Okay.
Thank
Another
you.
question is soul contract का when you started your discussion you said soul contract होता है and काफी examples भी देख के बताया कि जो parents अपने बच्चों से attached होते हैं और कहते हैं हमारे साथ ही रहें तो उस केस में बच्चे intellectually challenge भी हो सकते हैं physically challenge भी हो सकते हैं.
भी हो सकता है,
हाँ
बिकॉज वो
या
मतलब अपने वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन कर लिया कि हमारे
हाँ
साथ ही रहे, हमारे साथ ही रहे,
हाँ
क्योंकि कई
हाँ
कई लोग के बच्चे दूर रहते तो उनको बहुत रहता है हमारे साथ ही रहे, साथ ही रहे।
यस
तो कहीं ना
या
कहीं आप अपने लिए मतलब बच्चे के सोल के लिए भी आप बर्डन पाल देते हो कि भाई बेचारा, अब जो जो सपोज एक नॉर्मल बच्चा है, मतलब कोई एवरेज इंटेलिजेंस वाला बच्चा भी है, तो वो अपनी लाइफ अच्छे से लीड कर सकता है इंडिपेंडेंटली। अब वो बेचारा चाहे कि मैं इंडिपेंडेंट हो तो नहीं हो सकता है, बहुत सारी
हाँ
चीजों में हो सकता है, अगरबत्ती
हाँ.
बजाना सीख जाएगा जरा सा।
पर मेरा क्वेश्चन थोड़ा डिफरेंट था कि सोल ऐसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्यों करती है कई बार इस टाइप की डिजीजेस के लिए इस बार की आई मीन इतने इतने टाइप की हम देखते हैं दुख दुनिया में तो सोल मतलब वॉलेंट्री क्यों ये चूज करती है कि इस फैमिली में जाना है जहाँ लड़ाई भी होगी मर्डर्स भी होंगे तो आई ऑलवेज कीप वंडरिंग कि सोल के पास चॉइस होती है ना मतलब लाइट से आ रहे हैं लाइट सोर्स
बिल्कुल
से आ
सही
रहे हैं
बात है ये।
ये मेरा क्वेश्चन था.
एक्चुअली किसी ने बहुत ही पीसफुल देख लिया है, किसी ने बहुत अच्छा देख लिया, तो उसको लगता है कि थोड़ा सा मैं देखूं, मतलब दे वांट टू एक्सपेरिमेंट, लाइक वी वांट टू एक्सपेरिमेंट एट टाइम्स के चलो सोलो ट्रिप पे चलते हैं, चलो ये करते हैं, चलो वो करते हैं। जैसे एक एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ था कि दो लोगों ने ट्राई किया था, तो यूथ से अच्छे खासे इंस्टीट्यूट से पढ़े हुए थे, शायद IIM से पढ़े हुए थे, आई डोंट एग्जैक्टली रिमेम्बर कहाँ से पढ़े हुए थे, कि हम बहुत ही कम पैसों में जीते हैं 6 महीने तक। मतलब एक एक 2-2 रुपए का साबुन लाएंगे, ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, बहुत ज्यादा वो किया था। तो वैसे ही सोल भी ऐसे साइन करती है, सोल वांट्स टू ग्रो, soul wants to experience the misery also. Soul doesn't feel anything actually. वो हमें लगता है, हम एज अ पर्सन बहुत फील करते हैं कि अरे हमें बहुत दुख है, ये है वो है। जो एलिवेटेड सोल है, महावीर है, बुद्ध है, दे डोंट इवन फील एनीथिंग। मतलब महावीर को तो किसी ने मतलब उसमें कीला ठोक दिया था किसी ने कान में, so he just didn't feel anything because he was above this. तो वो सोल एलिवेट होना चाहती, तो सोल एलिवेट can only happen if you are going through something very harsh. So even if someone who's doing a suppose, हम जैसे फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में जाते हैं, 10th में जाते हैं, 11th में जाते हैं, 12th में जाते हैं, ग्रेजुएशन करते हैं, पोस्ट ग्रेड करते हैं, कुछ लोग डॉक्टरेट करते हैं, कुछ लोग पोस्ट डॉक्टरेट करते हैं। तो सोल कि जिन्होंने पोस्ट डॉक्टरेट वाली स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी चूज करी, जो एलिवेट हो चुके, तो उनकी डिफिकल्ट जर्नी रहेगी ही रहेगी 90% of the times, unless they have learned all their life lessons. So God wants us to learn life lessons and then evolve. तो सोल को लगता है कई बार कि हम ग्रो करने के लिए हम ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करते हैं, कई बार दुखी होकर भी साइन करते हैं। कई 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 लड़की बहुत सुंदर पैदा हुई है, बहुत ही सुंदर, उस पे पीपल आर पीपल आर एक्चुअली harassing her for her beauty, or some soul sign के I don't want to look beautiful at all. Someone who's born like a Snow White beauty, but the parents don't love her. So I've actually heard this someone telling. I won't tell the names and someone. I was very young at that time, like 13, 14 something. कि काश मैं काली होती कि मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझसे प्यार करते हैं। काश मैं मतलब वैसी, और काली काली doesn't mean in the racial terms. काली means not so good looking in this sense. काश मैं ऐसे मोटी होती तो मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझसे कम से कम प्यार तो करते, मुझे प्यार करने वाले पेरेंट्स मिलते। तो कई बार लोग ऐसे ऐसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन कर लेते हैं। अननोइंगली भी। कभी हम किसी चीज से बहुत परेशान होते हैं, हम दूसरी परेशानी मांग लेते हैं। किसी को लगता है कि मैं कोई बहुत डिपेंडेंट पर्सन है, तो उसको लगता है कि काश मेरे पेरेंट्स भले बेकार होते थे, काश मैं इंडिपेंडेंट होती। कई बार आप इतने इंडिपेंडेंट हो जाते हैं कि कोई 4-5 भाई बहनों के परिवार में पैदा हो जाते हैं, जिसमें सबसे सबसे ज्यादा ब्रेड विनर आप ही होते हो। तो ऐसा कुछ कुछ चीजें हो जाती है इंसान से, जब वो एक प्रॉब्लम से इतना परेशान हो जाता है, इतना परेशान हो जाता है कि उसको लगता है कि चलो ये प्रॉब्लम, चलो चलो मैं ये होती तो अच्छा होता। वो उस एक्सट्रीम पे चला जाता है, तो लोगों को इमोशन से पता नहीं चलता कि इमोशंस में हम क्या मांग रहे हैं।
या आपने कहा कि सोल फील नहीं करती पेन, आपने महावीर का और उनका एग्जाम्पल दिया, लेकिन
हाँ।
हम लोग यही यही कितनी जगह सुन रहे हैं कि कोई हंच करके चलता है, कोई किसी चीज से फेयर होता है उसको, ये फोबियाज होते हैं, वो पास्ट लाइफ और सोल से कनेक्टेड है।
हम्म।
तो सोल कुछ अगर फील नहीं करती और सोल फिर भी वो कैरी करती है और नेक्स्ट जन्म में आ जाते हैं उनके सिम्टम्स एंड
तो सोच रहा
बिहेवियर।
था हमारा अवचेतन मन, सबकॉन्शियस माइंड इज कैरिंग एवरीथिंग। It's just because we are not connected to a soul. That's why we are thinking soul is feeling like this. So अब मेरी आत्मा तृप्ति, अपने इडली अच्छी बनाई तो मैंने पिज्जा खाते नहीं, आत्मा को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, पिज्जा खिलाओ या घास फूस खिलाओ, मतलब ऑब्वियसली सोल वांट्स यू टू बी हेल्दी। सुसाइड नहीं करना चाहिए। सुसाइड, किसी घर में भी सुसाइड हो जाता है तो भी घर वाले पूरे डिस्ट्रेस में ही रहते हैं। इधर दे हैव अ बैड मैरिड लाइफ, इधर नो वन इज गेटिंग सेटल्ड, इधर दे हैव हॉरिबल रिलेशनशिप विद देयर चिल्ड्रन, शेयर मार्केट में चीजें उल्टी पड़ जाती हैं। तो वो सोल कभी नहीं चाहेगी कि आप अपने आप को वो करो कि झूठ बोलो या मतलब कोई गलत काम करो, कि वो उसकी पावर डेफिनेटली बहुत कम कर देता है। बट एट द सेम टाइम सोल को थप्पड़ देने किसी ने मारा, सोल डजंट फील एनीथिंग। सोल इज फॉर टू ग्रो, टू ग्रो स्पिरिचुअली। So anything that hinders spiritual growth, soul will get affected. Otherwise, soul doesn't get affected by anything. If you stay in a chopada, soul is okay. It's just because we are not come out of it as human beings. We are still stuck there. Because we have not in a state of nirvana or something, that we are not able to connect to our souls at all. Like none of us are connected to our souls as much as we have to be and we should be. Like for Kevalya Gyan and for moksha and all. We are still, because we are so stuck by our mind and heart, तो सोल तक तो हम पहुंचे ही नहीं अभी तक। बहुत ही कम लोग होंगे हम में से, शायद अभी सपोज 100 लोग होंगे इस ग्रुप में, तो एक दो लोग शायद पहुंचे होंगे वहां तक भी। इट इज अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क एक्चुअली।
Can I ask one thing? How is Akashic reading different from past life regression?
Because Akashic reading actually uncovers a multiple life. Past life regression goes from an issue and can just you can only cover 2 life or 3 lifetime. And someone else is instructing you, like Miss Meenu Manocha, she's a past life regression therapist. तो वो आपको instructions देंगी, वो आपको खुद ही करना पड़ेगा, आपको खुद ही ट्रांस में जाना पड़ेगा, खुद ही आपको अपने बॉडी छोड़नी पड़ेगी, खुद ही करना पड़ेगा चीजें। या someone else is doing in your behalf, and they're covering multiple lifetime, and they are not going in detail of everything। मतलब मैं डिटेल में नहीं जा रही कि सपोज मुझे लगा कि आप सपोज किसी आप नहीं सपोज किसी मैं सपोज गरीब खानदान से थी, तो मैं ये नहीं जाऊंगी कि गरीब खानदान में और क्या क्या हुआ था, मेरी मम्मी क्या कर रही थी, मेरे पापा क्या कर रहे थे, जहाँ पे मेरे इश्यूज है मैं वहीं तक जाऊंगी। फिर सपोज मैं उसी वक्त में मुझे अमीर खानदान में दिखा देगा, उसी वक्त मुझे शायद किसी सेलिब्रिटी का खानदान में दिखा देगा। मतलब ये 3 4 5 चीजें एक साथ भी दिख सकती हैं आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड्स में। समवन एल्स इज डूइंग इट फॉर यू, यू आर द वन हु इज लिसनिंग टू इट। And past evolution, mean you change soul contracts also. You imagine a better life also. You do a lot of things, but it's a 3 days process. This is just like a 1 hour, 1.5 hours process. तो टाइम डिफरेंस काफी है, आपको मल्टीपल सेशंस बुक करने पड़ते हैं मल्टीपल इश्यूज के लिए। आपको शायद काफी काफी 2-3 दिन में आपको काफी सारे आंसर्स मिल जाते हैं, तो आपको पूरा उसमें रहना ही पड़ता है, उसी उसमें रहना पड़ता है। यहाँ पे यू कैन स्विच ऑन स्विच ऑफ, टेक्स टाइम टू डू इट। ऐसा नहीं कि फटाफट हो जाता है, आधा आधा घंटा लग जाता है, बट मैक्सिमम, बट फिर आप निकल भी जाते हो उसमें से।
गॉट इट। अच्छा, एक चीज और मुझे पूछनी थी कि जैसे मेरे फादर हैं, ही इज 80 प्लस एंड ही इज
हम्म।
सफरिंग फ्रॉम पार्किंसंस। मतलब ही वाज वेरी एक्टिव थ्रू आउट हिज लाइफ और बहुत उनका मतलब अच्छा चल रहा था, बट सडनली लास्ट 3 4 ईयर्स से ही इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम दैट प्रॉब्लम। तो उसके लिए ये करने का फायदा है? बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक सो ही यू नो
No,
में
no, so
एक्टिवली
you can do it on his behalf because he's suffering so much, so he can't right now. Because you're the son. So you can do it
ओके।
on his behalf. And Raki ji, to answer your questions, yes, you can do Akashic for that. You cannot do आकाश के आपके फादर के इश्यूज क्या थे, आपके लिए मैसेजेस क्या है, उसके लिए आप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपसे रिलेटेड है वो। पर ये आप कर दे कि फादर की सफरिंग क्यों थी, तो वो आप नहीं करवा सकते अभी। उसके लिए आप टैरो करवाएं, एंजल कार्ड रीडिंग करवाएं, एंजल्स बेटर गाइड कर पाएंगे। बट ये आप करवा सकते हैं इसके लिए आकाश, सिंस आप अपने बारे में पूछ रहे हो कि डैड के मैसेजेस आपके डैड ने आपके लिए क्या कन्वे किया है, तो हाँ ये आप
Okay,
करवा सकते हैं,
actually,
बिकॉज योर फादर नॉट इन पोजीशन, मे बी द मदर क्लोजेस्ट वुड बी मदर, योर हिज वाइफ, तो जो
actually,
Right.
करवा सकते
since today I'm just missing my dad, and it just
हैं।
feels that he's around.
हम्म।
And तो मैंने पूछ लिया आपसे कि is there a
नहीं,
message that he wants to convey?
आप that you can ask, that you can definitely ask, बट आप ये पूछते कि आपके डैड डैड क्यों चले गए, या डैड का क्या है, डैड के
No,
बारे में
no,
पूछे तो वो मैं नहीं, वो मैं मना ही कर देती
no,
साफ।
no, no,
पर ये आप कर
no,
सकते
no,
करवा सकते
no, no.
हो।
Just that if he has a message for me.
Yeah, sure, that we can do, Akash, and that will that time only one issue can be taken, what dad has a message for you। फिर आप अपने इश्यूज नहीं ला सकते उसमें कि मुझे बैक पेन हो रहा है या ऐसा कुछ भी, मतलब एक एग्जाम्पल बता रही हूँ।
अच्छा, जैसे मैं अपने फादर की पार्किंसंस प्रॉब्लम के बारे में बात कर रहा था, तो
कैन यू
और
स्विच ऑन योर वीडियो, बिकॉज़ आई एम लाइक किससे बात कर रही हूँ मैं, आपको बोल रही हूँ, सो
या आई वाज नॉट रियली ओके, लेट मी,
इफ यू कुड।
या सॉरी।
ओके
तो
सर, श्योर।
इनफैक्ट जो मेरे फादर को पार्किंसंस की प्रॉब्लम की मैं बात कर रहा था, तो अ, जैसे हम लोग सुनते हैं कि रेकी इज आल्सो अनदर सॉल्यूशन, लाइक
या
वी कैन गो। सो हाउ डिफरेंट इट इज फ्रॉम रेकी, बिकॉज रेकी इज लाइक वी आर गिविंग एनर्जी टू द पर्सन, फॉर द हीलिंग प्रोसेस एंड ऑल। सो अब ये आकाशिक रीडिंग से उनकी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्यूशन का कैसे मिल सकता है? सो आई एम जस्ट
See,
कंफ्यूज।
Reiki is about healing. Reiki won't go into your issues कि क्यों हुआ क्या हुआ। Reiki is about healing, मतलब आपको पता चल सकता है 6-7 महीने में issues क्यों हुए। Reiki opens your channels। तो आपकी कुछ लाइफ में चीज रुकी भी तो Reiki opens it, पर Reiki won't go into your issues कि Parkinson's हुआ ही क्यों at the first place। Akashic can guide you Parkinson's हुआ ही क्यों, उन्होंने क्या सोल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किए थे, क्या उनका पास्ट लाइफ से रिलेटेड हो सकता है। कई लोग बहुत हेल्दी लाइफस्टाइल करते हैं, मतलब एक भी दिन अपना वर्कआउट मिस नहीं करते, मेंटली हेल्दी, फिजिकली हेल्दी, स्पिरिचुअली हेल्दी, फिर भी उनको बहुत सारी बीमारियां होती है, तो दैट डेफिनेटली कम्स फ्रॉम पास्ट लाइफ, दैट यू कैन कंक्लूड। बट
एंड
हियर
दैट कैन
इट
आल्सो सॉल्व द
कैन,
प्रॉब्लम,
हाँ,
एंड दैट कैन आल्सो सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम।
लेकिन ये दैट कैन सॉल्व लाइक 50-60% ऑफ योर इश्यूज, एटलीस्ट यू आर अवेयर कि क्यों हो रहा है। तो यू आर अवेयर अबाउट अ कर्मा, द ऑल दी प्रोसेस ऑफ पास्ट लाइफ रिग्रेशन, टैरो कार्ड रीडिंग, ऑल दी occult sciences were like to reverse whatever kriyaman karmas then your heart, like in your hands, sorry, so that you can be careful about not doing anything wrong with anyone, at least intentionally. Unintentionally kuch ho bhi jata, to at least seek forgiveness and all that. It was just to like whatever karma is there in our hands, because we do have free will. It's not that everything is written in destiny or in the cards or in this horoscope, no, or numerology also. This is just to reverse, like my name was R-I-C-A, Riya, not R-I-Y. It was just to give, not that whatever prarabdh I have to go through that. It's just that whatever free will is there in my hand, it can be a little helpful for that. So यही है आपका, कि आप जो जो उनके साथ कर सकते हैं बेस्ट, आप कैसे उनको ट्रीट करें, उनको कौन से, शायद कोई आपको शायद आकाशिक से या टैरो से पता चले कौन से इनके लिए एक्यूपंचर, एक्यूप्रेशर ठीक है कि एक्यूपंचर ठीक है, इनके लिए ट्रीटमेंट कौन सा सही रहेगा और कौन सा आइडियल रहेगा इनके ट्रीटमेंट, जो आप बेस्ट कर सकते हो, जो उनकी सफरिंग है उनको सफर करना पड़ेगा, उनको या फैमिली को भी, फॉर दैट मैटर।
गॉट इट, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सो मच। सो suffering prarabdhs are not going to go anywhere. It's just a way of dealing with someone has a very bad, someone has a someone has someone, उसके बच्चे भी बदतमीजी करते हैं, हस्बैंड भी करता है, सारे सब लोग टॉक्सिक ही मिलते हैं। The person, if they change their perception, if they become more grateful, if they look at the positives of life in spite of the difficult circumstances, your life, at least your quality of life can become better. Not that situations will change. So that's what Akashic says. That's what occult sciences in nutshell would say. Even healing would say the same thing. Change your perception, change your way of thinking, be more disciplined, and I mean things which are not coming to you. So suppose someone has like in Jainism we say antray karam. Someone wants to do yoga and someone knows कि yoga से मेरी life better हो सकती है. Yoga is not coming to their life, whatever they do. So then they have to push themselves more. So ऐसी मतलब this is what happens. So if something is not coming to you, you have to push yourself more. That okay, I want this, I want this. Maybe 10 years later, 20 years later, it will come. Depends upon your karma. Reading for Mukulji, you have to come to me personally because this is very intense and publicly, and this is since a live session, and other people are also around, so I wouldn't recommend कि उससे किसी को पता भी होना चाहिए कि आपकी reading में क्या है. Until unless you want to share it with your spouse and all, they should know. Otherwise, I won't even tell your children about this. Some will be below 18, and only 18 and 18 above can come in this session. Because children, this is very sensitive. It's become a very sensitive and this is a very intense issue. So children can't take it. So I just won't recommend कि public reading बिल्कुल भी करें. आप में से कोई भी. Okay, thank you so much. I guess the questions have been answered, and you can contact me personally if you have any kind of doubt, if you want to get the reading done, if you want to know about it. Like please, and I would recommend everyone, like whoever is watching this, whoever come to this live, please understand the process first before going into it. Just don't go into it के सुन लिया आपने Instagram पे reels देख लिए. Don't go to that. LinkedIn पे किसी को post देख लिया. Don't do that. Understand the process first. Ask a lot of questions beforehand, and then go. And even if the question looking like a बहुत childish लग रहा है, it doesn't matter. No one is going to judge. No occult therapist, occult scientist, or no one is going to judge because they are prepared that you are not supposed to judge anyone. So that's very ingrained in us. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and thank you, everyone.
Hmm.
Rakhi, you have a question or something? Or you want to share?
No more question. Just wanted to ask about my dad. So maybe I can message her personally.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Riya.
Shamana
Thank
ji,
you,
and thank you,
everyone.
Nupur ji. She was the one who taught me, and
Yes,
it was best learning from her.
yeah. And thank you, everyone, and see you again